In a transformative twist, international businesses are reassessing their foothold in China, marking a seismic change in the global economic landscape. The departure of these enterprises isn't just a strategic business maneuver, it's a nuanced response to the evolving dynamics of geopolitics and market uncertainties. The global business landscape is witnessing a significant transformation as a wave of international companies strategically bids farewell to China. This departure is not merely a surface-level shift, but holds profound repercussions that reverberate through the intricate threads of China's economic fabric. One of the immediate and tangible impacts is the escalation of unemployment rates. As these international enterprises withdraw, they leave behind a void in the job market, leading to a surge in unemployment. This phenomenon creates a ripple effect, affecting not only the individuals directly employed by these companies, but also impacting ancillary industries that relied on their presence. Moreover, the departure of these companies triggers disruptions in the intricate web of global supply chains. China has long been a linchpin in the interconnected networks that drive international trade. As these companies disengage from the Chinese market, the repercussions extend to suppliers, manufacturers, and distributors worldwide. Supply chain disruptions, characterized by delays, shortages, and increased costs, become a tangible reality. This dynamic shift challenges the resilience of businesses globally, compelling them to adapt and reconfigure their supply chain strategies in response to this seismic departure. The far-reaching consequences extend beyond unemployment and supply chain disruptions to induce broader industry downturns. Sectors that were intricately linked to the operations of these departing international companies experience a contraction, leading to a pervasive economic strain. This downturn further amplifies the challenges faced by the Chinese economy, which was already delicately poised. The departure of international companies from China isn't merely a symbolic gesture, but a complex process with multifaceted consequences. It alters the economic landscape, creating a domino effect that manifests in escalating unemployment rates, disruptions in global supply chains, and broader industry downturns. These repercussions underscore the intricate interdependencies that define the modern global economy and emphasize the need for adaptability in the face of such transformative shifts. The strategic departure of international companies from China transcends simple economic considerations. It is a manifestation of the complex challenges embedded in China's stringent regulatory framework and intricate political landscape. Beyond the surface-level calculations of profit and loss, businesses are grappling with navigating an environment characterized by regulatory pressures and political uncertainties. China's regulatory landscape, often perceived as demanding and restrictive, poses significant hurdles for foreign enterprises, prompting them to reevaluate their long-term viability within the Chinese market. In response to these challenges, the global spotlight is shifting towards India, emerging as a promising alternative for global business ventures. India's appeal lies not only in its robust economic potential, but also in its relatively more flexible regulatory environment. The Indian government's efforts to streamline processes and ease regulatory burdens have garnered attention from international businesses seeking a more accommodating environment. Furthermore, India's democratic political landscape provides a level of transparency and predictability that contrasts with the complexities faced in certain other markets. As a result, India is increasingly perceived as a beacon for businesses looking to diversify their operations and reduce dependence on China. The narrative of international companies redirecting their focus towards India underscores the dynamic nature of the global business landscape, where strategic decisions are not solely driven by economic factors, but are intricately woven into the fabric of regulatory and political considerations. The unfolding story of this shift reflects a broader trend of adaptability and strategic recalibration in response to the multifaceted challenges posed by the intricacies of global economic and political landscapes. For nearly 2 decades, China has stood as the cornerstone for major international pharmaceutical companies, offering an ideal environment characterized by cost-effectiveness and swift services. The allure of this vast market led to a significant influx of investment from pharmaceutical giants, relying on China's efficient infrastructure and cost-effective mechanisms for the development and manufacturing of new drugs. This symbiotic relationship thrived until the geopolitical landscape underwent a substantial shift, prompting Western governments to advocate for diversification away from China. Heightened geopolitical tensions have catalyzed a reevaluation of the risk and dependence associated with the Chinese pharmaceutical market. As diplomatic complexities continue to unfold, major international pharmaceutical companies find themselves at a crossroads, seeking alternatives that mitigate risk and ensure the continuity of their operations. In response to this recalibration, industry insiders are pointing to India as a rapidly emerging frontier for pharmaceutical ventures. India's ascent in the pharmaceutical arena is not only attributed to its growing economic prowess, but also to its relatively stable and supportive regulatory environment. The Indian government's efforts to streamline approval processes and reduce bureaucratic hurdles have garnered attention from pharmaceutical leaders seeking a more adaptable and transparent landscape. As China's regulatory and geopolitical challenges intensify, India, with its robust pharmaceutical sector and favorable regulatory reforms, is becoming increasingly attractive as a strategic alternative. This shift signifies more than a mere relocation of pharmaceutical operations. It symbolizes a broader trend in the recalibration of global supply chains and strategic dependencies. The pharmaceutical industry's pivot towards India reflects a pragmatic response to the evolving geopolitical climate, highlighting the need for adaptability and diversification in the face of complex global challenges. As pharmaceutical giants redirect their focus towards India, the narrative unfolds as a dynamic chapter in the ever-evolving saga of global business strategy. According to Tommy E.R., global co-head of healthcare investment banking, significant pharmaceutical players are increasingly turning to Indian CDMO, contract development and manufacturing organization, companies. Reports from Indian CDMO firms like Syngene Aragon Life Services, Pomal Farm Solutions, and Slife Sciences suggest a surge in interest from large multinational and Western pharmaceutical companies. While India's CDMO industry revenue currently trails China's, projections indicate that its average annual growth rate over the next 5 years is set to outpace China's. Pomal Farm Solutions has recently unveiled a strategic initiative that underscores a broader trend in the global business landscape. In a calculated move, the company has announced plans to integrate its supply chains into India, marking a significant departure from the traditional reliance on China. This strategic shift involves sourcing basic raw materials from India, illustrating a decisive move towards diversification and reducing dependence on China's manufacturing dominance. The decision by Pomal Farm Solutions to redirect its supply chains aligns with a growing movement among international companies actively seeking alternatives to China's manufacturing stronghold. This trend is not solely driven by a desire to mitigate geopolitical risk, but is also rooted in the acknowledgement of the evolving dynamics of global trade and supply chain resilience. As geopolitical tensions persist and the uncertainties loom over China's economic and political landscape, businesses are recognizing the imperative to disperse their sourcing and production hubs for enhanced stability. The choice to source raw materials from India speaks to the country's growing prominence as a viable and attractive alternative for businesses seeking to diversify their supply chains. India's economic growth, coupled with a more favorable regulatory environment, positions it as a strategic hub for companies aiming to navigate the intricate challenges associated with global supply chains. Pomal Farm Solutions' move reflects a broader narrative of adaptability, where companies are proactively reshaping their business strategies to ensure resilience in an ever-changing global landscape. As the pharmaceutical industry and other sectors witness this shift towards diversification, it becomes evident that companies are actively reevaluating their global footprints and recalibrating their supply chain strategies. Pomal Farm Solutions' strategic move into India not only signifies a practical response to the current geopolitical climate, but also highlights the proactive nature of businesses in shaping their future trajectories. This narrative is emblematic of a larger paradigm shift in global business, where adaptability and strategic foresight play pivotal roles in navigating a complex and evolving economic landscape. The pharmaceutical industry's pivot towards India is not an isolated phenomenon. Recent years have witnessed the exit of various foreign companies from China. A staggering $11.8 billion deficit in foreign investment during the third quarter signals a substantial redirection of global economic currents. This trend transcends the pharmaceutical sector. Companies like Airbnb, Blizzard, LinkedIn, Mitsubishi Motors, and Gallup have strategically exited the Chinese market. Motivations range from intense market competition and regulatory hurdles to data security concerns and evolving user behaviors. As businesses navigate the complexities presented by the COVID-19 pandemic and geopolitical tensions, the international business community is adapting to a new reality. The departure of these companies from China underscores the broader need for adaptability and strategic realignment in today's unpredictable global markets. As we wrap up our journey through the changing currents of global business, These shifts away from China underscore the complex dynamics at play. Adaptation becomes paramount in navigating these evolving landscapes. Thank you for joining us on this exploration, and stay tuned for more insights in the intricate fabric of international commerce. The story continues to unfold, and we look forward to unraveling it with you in the future.